started. So, good morning. So, if I, I should start over again for those who are recording. So, I just pressed the record. So, good morning, everybody. And yeah, I've got like this thing going on with my eyes this morning where it just wants to go back to sleep. My eyes want to go back to sleep. I'm wide awake. My eyes want to go back to sleep. And I've got some dry eye issues happening today. So, if you see me tearing, it's not even a physical release. It's literally like a dry eye issue. That's why when some people go, "Is it a physical release?" Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just dry eye,
Right. And you
and other
tear when
times
you
it's
have
just
dry eyes.
emotional. Huh?
You tear a lot when you have dry eyes, and people think, well, my eyes are dry. Why am I tearing? But it's, the opposite. They're dry, they
Yeah,
tear.
it's tearing because it's trying to make up for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and of course I forgot to put the humidifier on last night too in my bedroom, so that was probably not helping either.
Mhm.
you know, with that winter dryness as it is, that just
Right.
adds to the problem. So
True.
it's something that I've only had to deal with for the last 2 years, but I think it's definitely tied to my thyroid. So which is what I've been working on.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, I don't know if I get my right concoctions. It's one of the reasons why I started studying herbal medicine, because I was experimenting with things and I was realizing, oh, now I actually have flow here, which I didn't have flow there before. So I go, okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going, so that's really more liver issues. So I'm like going, okay, so I got some more liver issues than I think that I thought I did. So it's interesting if people get out of like the am I ever gonna get out of it? I'm like, I'm a fucking walking poster child. Like, I was told I needed a hysterectomy. So, I mean, come on. I was told I needed a root canal. I still have my tooth.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm hoping I can still have it. It's been 4 years now. I still have my tooth. And it hasn't acted up since the fall.
Awesome.
And it usually only acts up during certain space weather type events. So it's
Yeah.
usually my signal like, okay, we got something coming in there now. I'm like, really? You hurt? So so let's start off. Let's just do a 60-second round table, see where everybody's at, see how you've been with this chaotic energy this week. Monday we had, as I said on Wednesday, we had the space weather stuff. And some people started feeling it coming into Saturday into Sunday, and it triggered a CME flare, which we go into in the empath class. And I am interviewing people to try to help me get that launched. Probably April. I think I'm feeling April right now, so we'll see if that changes. It was supposed to be September, then October, then January, and I go no, April. I mean, it's almost there. It's just I need some technical help, is what it comes down to. It's technical help. So, so we go into the whole space weather thing. So Monday triggered a CME flare, which went into I call the red zone. I like going green light, yellow light, red light. So it went into the red light zone. And then Tuesday, because of that ricochet, it triggered a secondary thing on the Earth's resonance and the Earth's electrical grids. So it could have been almost like a 1-2 punch where you know this is where we have to go into patterns. It's just like how you feel. Like I feel like I'm feeling it now because it was a 1-2 punch. Like it took a lot out of me, especially if you're sensitive to EMFs, like on the computers and things. It can really amp that part up. And like last night I started feeling really run down. So I'm like, okay, I gotta up X, Y, and Z. So I go into how to like do all that in the empath class. I'm not gonna go too much into that, but just that could be part of it. And then we had the new moon yesterday. So I don't know about your dreams, but shit, I've had a lot of rapey dreams this week.
Oh,
I
an
mean, I
intense
mean,
dream.
every week, for the last 3 days, I've had rapey dreams. I'm like, okay, like I'm a sex abuse survivor, so like, why am I having rapey dreams? You know, like, so it's like, okay, so some of it's about control, right? And other what I heard this morning when I woke up, and I think it's probably, and we'll see if this ends the rapey dreams, is I probably because the card for the day is the queen tiger. So, and I'm wondering if it has to do with that, which I'll go into. But oh fuck, what I was gonna say? I was like, it really kind of tied in, and I'm like, oh, so I was using my sexual power. Like your power is in your womb, so that there's this power in that sexuality, right? So because what I kept hearing, I'm like, okay, well, like if you look at her, like there's a sensuality about her, but yet the tiger is a solitary animal. The tiger's also about power. So, the queen's also about power. So there's a solitary thing here, but it's about the independence, and there's always been this fight even in the patriarchal world about that yin and the yang and who's going to control the woman's body, right? And I caught myself, at least in this morning's dream, after I was already raped by somebody, okay? And then it was like, I don't know, I was in this forest or something, and then it was like I was using my sexuality or whatever to entice him to get what I needed, whatever. I'm like going, why would I do that? Like. So to me, it was about using, we don't take it as a literal, right? Because dreams are very metaphorical. It's about, sometimes it's coercion, sometimes it's manipulation. So, but it's really about the independence. It's also about sovereignty. So this, for those who do read, because I know a lot of them are on replay that read tarot. This card represents the Queen of Swords. So what this card is really representing is about the experience. So a lot of us here are at a certain age, and I know not everybody that's going to be watching on replay are there, but this is about experience has taught us many lessons. So, and that life continues to make demands on us, and that we are easily misunderstood. Now, traditionally, the queen, well, like if you go to the Queen of Swords aspect, traditionally it could refer to the widow, the crone, the divorcee. Okay. So, so you're talking about somebody that has, through experience, acquired wisdom, right? So today, this can also represent the whole self-sufficiency and independence, and somebody that has resiliency, that has established or learned to establish clear boundaries, and is also a truth seeker. So you want to think somebody that's quick thinking. You want to think independence, perception, somebody that can really perceive things. So that's that intuitive thing, right? Because whenever I see the Queen of Swords, at least in my deck, I think of somebody that's also very perceptive, that really has good instincts, okay, and has learned to harness them and use them effectively. So now, here's the other aspect of it. You want to think of somebody that is not interested in conforming. Like, this is somebody that could be like a really rebellious chick, Like, you society is trying to tell me one thing, and my intuition, my inner truth is saying something different, and you're trying to get me to conform. And back in the day, they would even say that's hysteria, right? And throw us in a psych asylum, right? So, mental hospital. So, this card is teaching us to not be so caught up also in dependent relationships. So if we're finding ourselves like getting caught up or even seeking the need to be dependent on others, that it's okay for certain issues, but this is really about how are we being self-sufficient, because we have been conditioned as women especially to be dependent, especially on man, right? So it's the ambitions and the goals that are within us, that are harboring within us. Like, we need to know how that we can accomplish this ourselves. And because the Queen Tiger, she knows her truth. So should you. So this is about knowing and seeking. So if you're struggling, then maybe you want to look at the other aspects, like the whole seeking your inner truth. Like, what is that, right? So that goes into what we've been saying for the past year or so. That's the balance between the ego and spirit. The balance between, and ironically, that was the clarification card I pulled, the balance card. So it's the balance between the ego and the soul, and the ego and spirit. So this, and of course, that card says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So when you are not meeting your goals, or you're saying, I am not being what even Laura's saying we need to be doing, I'm not following my path, and I don't know why. Instead of getting judgmental on yourself, you need to be able to be a little compassionate. Okay, because that's where the crone comes in. A grandmother is warm and compassionate to her children, but yet she can be stern when she needs to be. Okay, so here's where leaving the sentimentality. I think this is actually what hit home with me dealing with all the grief stuff. It's leaving the sentimentality behind and taking action and making important decisions for yourself. And that's important. So, and the tiger, as I said before, is a solitary animal. So this is about using the power and the strength of a tiger that knows how to forage and be self-sufficient in the woods by itself. Okay. And then you have the mysticism of being the white tiger behind it that's guiding you. So I always see, like, I have the dragon, right? So it's very similar. So the tiger's there, like the tiger's there. They're not dependent on each other, if you notice, but yet the tiger's supporting her, but she's self-sufficient. Okay, she's not dependent on the tiger, and the tiger is also not dependent on her, but yet they both know that they're there for each other when they need it, right? So, and if you also notice the tea, so this is also the tea in a lot of Asian cultures is about, and sake is about tapping into the gods. So that's in Japanese culture. So in Japanese culture, sake is about tapping. They used, back in the day, they used sake to, um, get closer to the gods. So and tea ceremonies are considered a ritual more than just, you don't sit there and drink a cup of tea. It is actually a ritual. It's why they call it tea ceremony. It's a ritual. It's tapping into the flow of life. If you notice, like with the Japanese cards and the Asian cards, there's a flow with them. Like there's a waviness, there's a flow. So this is about the intermingling flow of life and the weave that we're weaving, the web that we're weaving. Okay, and how well are we flowing with that natural occurrence? So this is about the independence, but it's also being mindful. This is not about the independence from an egoic standpoint, by the way, even though there's an element of that. Okay, it is the independence of the balance between ego and spirit, but it's spirit led. You understand? So, any questions on that, Jane, before we move on to the next? What's resonating, what's not? And let's do a roundtable since I think I forgot to do that. Jane, go ahead.
Well, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, because I had to go to my iPhone. My computer, the sound comes in and out. I could totally relate to what you were saying because I've had like two really bizarre dreams. And, one did involve a sexual encounter. And it was with a woman, and I'm heterosexual, but now I get it. I totally understand what that was all about. And the other one was extremely,
Power.
Was extremely kind of gruesome and bizarre. So I totally understand that now. And, I've kind of had like the yin and the yang this week, like some, with patients, just some bizarre things going on in the way they're reacting. And then I've had some positive, and today my daughter left. She's house sitting for 2 weeks, and I love my daughter dearly, but I am so happy that I have my apartment to myself for 2 weeks. I am on cloud nine. I'm actually sitting in my living room, which I always have to be my bedroom. But yeah, so it's been a very interesting week.
Good. It's like a little vacation, right?
Yeah, I'm psyched.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong. I
no.
remember when my dad went to London over Christmas one time to go visit my brother, and he goes, "I hope you're not going to be upset or worried." I go, "No, go have a good time." I actually was like, "Yay, I actually got a place." And people that were coming over and they were like, "Laura, this is the cleanest I've seen the house." I go, "Shh, don't tell my dad." Like, I go, because, and then when I picked him up at the airport, I go, "Okay, the house is clean. Can we keep it that for 5 minutes before a tornado goes on?" And he
Right.
would look at me and I go, "Okay, so the kitchen lasted 30 minutes, not 5." So, and he did get a kick out of it, but I was like, "Oh my God, I actually have some reprieve here, you know."
Right. Yeah, I
I get
feel,
it.
oh, yeah.
I get Oh, good, good, good. Joan,
I'm here.
would you like to chime in as far as where you're at or what resonates with you?
I'd say about a 5 or a 6. I'm
Okay.
feeling good this morning. I just woke up an hour ago, so I'm still waking up. I got the dog under the blanket here,
Good,
so I'm feeling pretty level.
good, 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 good. Yeah, I can feel that. My eyes still want to water. So it is what it is, and I'm just gonna keep wiping them, and just par for the course. And I can see how puffy they are, so it might be just. I might have to just set the humidifier on just for the heck of it. It might be just dry in the house too. So, but yeah, okay. So let's get a little grounded, and I'm sitting next to my big bowl that we usually stand in. So can you guys hear that? Okay, thumbs up. Okay. So let's just integrate what needs to be balanced. So I'm feeling the need to maybe go more silence just with the tones today. And what I want you to do is just focus on the breath that you have been working on and finding out what is out of balance and working on what needs to be balanced. And keep calling in what needs to be balanced. Okay? So breathing into that power center. And breathing out to the hands and through the feet. Following into the flow and into the abyss. Calling in all that is, all that was, and all that shall be. Giving thanks to all that is, all that was, and all that shall be. Giving thanks to our great mother for all her wisdom, her nurturing, and her love. Giving thanks to all the elementals, to the four directions, to Father Sun, to all the ancestors that have been guiding us throughout the journey and along the way. Taking a deep breath. In your nose and out through the feet, composting, taking whatever wisdom and keeping it, bringing it into the womb, into the fire, and breathing out through the feet, composting it. And doing that 3 times. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes, move your hands, and move your feet. And let's cycle back and see what's showing up for everybody. Like I can take a nap, and I go, I can't. I got an online appointment at 11. I see this is the challenge, like with what I do, like I can't control when the energies affect me. You know, sometimes they make me wired, sometimes they make me tired.
I just saw a lot of colors and it was very relaxing and there really was no thought, which was awesome.
Good, 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 good. Yes. So we all get what we need at the time. Yeah, I hear sometimes people say, and they go, but I wasn't as visual like so and so, whatever. I'm like, but you got what you wanted. You're comparing. So, you know, I know some people don't do the shares when they do some of things like this for that reason. But I also do it for the reason that sometimes people may have like a weird thought or a weird experience, and somebody might chime in and say they had this, and they go, "Oh my God, I had it too!" And then they go, "Ah, I feel so much better." You know, so it is what it is. You know, so thank you for sharing, Joan.
I'm here.
Yeah. So, would you like to chime in as far as what your experience was?
Very calm and relaxed. Very mellow.
So I'm feeling the need to give the platform to close out, where each of you can go for 2 minutes and share whatever you would like to share to close out, moving through the weekend, closing out the day, closing out the week. So you have 2 minutes to share whatever you would like to share each, and then we will close out. Whoever would like to go first.
I'm enjoying the sun because it comes right through the window in the morning.
You have 2 minutes, Joan, so you can say whatever else you want.
I know, but that's it. I'm like,
Okay. That's good. All right. Thank you. Jane.
I'm just gonna really take time for myself this weekend and do whatever I want. And I might like put music on and dance in my kitchen and just like have a free fest for myself. I do go Sunday for my second COVID vaccination, and I'm going to work. I have a healing machine that's bio, works with your energy fields, and I'm just going to boost my immune system and everything's going to be fine. I'm just going to stay really positive, connect, read, go back and watch something like this week, Monday and Wednesday, just do whatever I want for me. And I'm very, very happy about that.
Good. See, yeah, I'm actually going to be taking because my brother decided to sue me and he's claiming 100% ownership of the house. So so I'm in a part of me. I have to see how the flow goes, but a part of me saying I just want to play hooky this weekend. I'm not gonna. I've got boxes everywhere, and a part of me doesn't even care. Doesn't even care. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna more master the flow and just see what my body needs and not be committed to anything. If I want to get up in the morning and go to work, then I'm going to do that. If I want to sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then I'm going to do that. So it's like I am going to do whatever the flow calls to do, and I'm going to be okay with that. Simple as that. And I might even go do a witchy prank that I saw online where these women tied this invisible string to a shopping cart. This is the mischievous side of me. And they tied it. And then they went to the grocery store. So it looked like the cart was moving. All of a sudden she would go, and the cart would start moving with her. And a woman comes up, she goes, "You're a witch! You're a witch! You're a witch!" Like, and I'm going, I have a client of mine that is an actual witch. We're learning to become one. And I said, we gotta go do this in the store. And I go just to see people's reactions, just to maybe make light of like all this heavy shit that's going on, you know? I mean, so who knows? You might find me arrested on like 60 Minutes or something for doing some prank or whatever. I don't know, you know, but we'll see. We'll see how the energy goes. So I do plan on being back on Facebook on Monday. So be gentle with yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the sun. Stay warm. Apparently, from what I understand, we've got 2 more storms coming our way, if I'm not mistaken. So prepare. Not just physically with milk and bread, but with everything else, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Okay, and I leave you with spirit. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
See
Have
you
a
on
great
Monday.
weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Take
Jen.
care. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Joan. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You
Bye.
too.
I will.